It's a top 20 matchup here in Raleigh, North Carolina, as 8th-ranked NC State hosts 16th-ranked Pittsburgh here in Reynolds Coliseum.
Yeah, we have a very tough schedule. I think the ACC is really strong, stronger than it's ever been. You know, with Virginia Tech and North Carolina State, both top 10 teams.
This is the type of win for Pitt. If we're able to get it, that would help jumpstart momentum.
Oh yeah.
And it would send reverberations through the college wrestling community.
Our guys are going to be battle tested by the time they get to the national tournament, and that's a positive.
And Pitt takes the lead 4-3.
And we're going to have a lot of opportunity in these next 2 months of the season to prove ourselves and to knock off some nationally ranked teams and individuals.
Fireman's carry, what a move from Bentley. Saved by the bell maybe there for Morris.
That got the entire Pitt bench fired up.
And I think their identity is constantly evolving.
2 takedowns to none. Good win there for redshirt sophomore Greg Harvey, a PA boy.
This team has come together really, and a lot of them have grown up together.
They don't just go to Pitt. They don't just wrestle at Pitt. They're from Pitt. They're from Western PA, and obviously that's such a hotbed.
We recruit heavily in Western PA area because it is a very strong area for wrestling. So a lot of the guys on our team have known each other for a long time. So kind of having that family type bond is a little easier for us than maybe some other places.
Kellen Stout comes back to win over 20th ranked Malik McDonald.
They enjoy training and working together. So when they're out there, and even though they're out there by themselves, they're fighting for themselves and they're fighting for their team.
Secures another takedown with 3 seconds left.
So Pittsburgh comes into Raleigh and upsets 8th-ranked NC State.
I think at the end of the year, hopefully if we keep going and doing what we're doing, we'll be able to look back and see that in just our second year here, we've done some good things.
They're definitely a team on the rise in the ACC.
It starts as a game, a gathering of friends. And slowly, as some begin to sit back, others stand out. The joy of playing turns to passion. And as the skills develop, so do the minds. And they begin to seek challenges, peers, and mentors to further their abilities and opportunities. The love and passion becomes a thirst for people in a place
we make history today in Pittsburgh
that will embrace and push, a hunger for excellence, and to be in and among champions. These are the dreamers, scholars, leaders. These are the guides, teachers, mentors. And this is the opportunity, the challenge, the place. This is Pitt Beyond the Script.
This week on Pitt Beyond the Script, Coach Keith Gavin's wrestling squad returns to campus after a big win, upsetting number 8 NC State. We'll get to know one of the Panthers, Bethel Park native Nino Bonacorsi. We'll spend some time with former head coach and current assistant Pitt basketball coach Jason Capel. And we'll sit down with new head baseball coach Mike Bell and hear what drew this coach, who helped guide 3 different teams to 4 College World Series appearances, to Pitt. And some goodwill with Coach White and his Panthers. We're with his student athletes as they help out in the community and pink the Pete. And it's one of the biggest days of the year for the Pitt football team. We'll check in on National Letter of Intent Signing Day this week on Pitt Beyond the Script. Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for being with us for the 2019 National Letter of Intent Signing Day event.
It's a big day for these fans. They always come out strong, and it's great to see the support. You know, football season's 365 here at Pitt. Evidence is the crowd we get for this event every year. Probably the best part is from 5 or 6 o'clock, you know, the coaches are intermingling with people, and they don't get a chance to do that very often. You know, for our fans, they get a chance to now talk to the coaches that recruited these kids that got to know them.
It was one of the best decisions I made in my life, coming to Pitt and being home, being local. Just seeing some people that watched me play here, you know, almost 20 years ago. This was really neat to see them just still supporting Pitt.
I started as a manager at the end of the 1972 season when we were 1-10, and I watched us grow until we won a national championship in 1976.
Here's what I'll say. There's my ring, national championship. And we've had season tickets since then.
And I would encourage any Pitt fan that wants to be a further part of this family to get here. It's a great time, and it's a way to look ahead and help build this program moving forward.
If we're all going in the same direction, then we have a chance to win a championship. Okay, we're one step closer to where we want to be, and I think we've got an incredible football team that is just starting to gel right now, and we will continue to develop them, bring them together as a big football family. Thank you very much for coming tonight, guys. Hail to Pitt!
What a phenomenal world we live in, where the impossible is anything but. No matter the game, we are always playing for Pittsburgh. On the biggest stages, amplifying the quietest voices, leveraging knowledge for society's gain, the builders of the future. We empower minds. We ignite fire and soar higher. Hail to Pitt.
No other industry is changing as rapidly as healthcare. What's needed are leaders. The University of Pittsburgh Joseph M. Katz Graduate School of Business, in partnership with UPMC, offers an executive MBA that focuses on healthcare. The 19-month hands-on program is taught by world-class faculty from Katz and UPMC. It's designed for experienced healthcare professionals seeking to transform the industry. To learn more, visit emba.pitt.edu.
You're watching Pitt Beyond the Script.
You came to Pitt for moments like this. They're in Pittsburgh right now. And all we do is fight. To play in games like this, in front of a crowd like this. But it's gonna take everybody. We're gonna fight together, we're gonna play together, trust your training. Concentrated confidence for 40 minutes together, we walk out of here with a win. This is our moment, this is our time. Play together, play hard, play smart, let's go have some fun.
Hello and welcome to Pitt Beyond the Script alongside Pitt assistant basketball coach Jason Capel. I'm Rob King of AT&T Sportsnet. And Coach, we've been talking to your brother off and on over the course of the year. This is our first opportunity to talk to you. And before we talk about this team, I want to know, first of all, what it was like growing up. I know that Jeff's 5 years older than you, I believe, is the number. And then he winds up going to Duke. Yep. You wind up going to North Carolina. Why not Duke? How did that turn out?
I was just wanting to blaze my own path. You know, being a younger brother has a lot of advantages. I was blessed to be able to be around him a lot, learn from him, learn from the coaches and teammates that he had. But for me, I wanted to be my own person. I wanted to go somewhere where, you know, I could be me and not follow in his footsteps. We were both recruited by two great universities. He enjoyed his time at Duke. But for me, I grew up a North Carolina fan. It was always my dream to play for the Tar Heels and specifically to play for Coach Smith. I signed with Coach Smith, he retired, but I was able to play for Coach Bill Guthridge, and it was a great experience for me.
Now, growing up 5 years younger than Jeff, was he a mentor to you? Were you sort of brother rivalry, or which way did that go?
Well, no rivalry. You know, I was obviously 5 years younger, and I was the little brother. I was always pretty big, so I was allowed to hang with he and his friends, and they treated me as an equal. They never treated me as like some little kid brother following them around. They allowed me to learn. They allowed me to experience and share the things that they were doing. And that helped me become a better player, a better person, and it helped me to grow up faster, which prepared me for things that life was going to bring my way.
You talked about Duke and North Carolina, two great programs, clearly not just in the ACC, but nationally as well. You guys now come to a Pitt program that had great success in the Big East, hasn't found the same level of success in the ACC. Exciting to you that you could maybe blaze a new path here, that maybe a few years from now Pitt can be talked about in the same way, maybe not with the same history, but in the same way currently as a Duke and a North Carolina?
Well, it will, and that's our job, is to come here and, you know, rebuild it, and that's exciting. When you look at, when you walk into Peterson Event Center and you see the banners, they speak for themselves. There's a rich tradition here of basketball excellence, and it's our job to recruit good players, help them get better, continue to add to the legacy here, but also take it to a higher level. That's something that gets your juices going when you wake up in the morning. We understand the job that's ahead, and we're committed to doing it, bringing back the great pride to Pitt basketball.
You've been an assistant, you've been a head coach, you've worked in the media as well. What is it like now back being an assistant head coach, and what are the differences between being an assistant head coach, maybe some of the advantages between being an assistant and being a head coach?
Well, I was only an assistant coach prior for 1 year. So to me, you know, when you coach, your job is to help young men, to build young men, to help them grow. Your job is to help them in everyday life become the people that they're ultimately going to become. You have to win basketball games in that time. You have to recruit the right players. But your job is to help them continue to grow using basketball as a vehicle to do that. And that's something we take great pride in, and it's a privilege to be able to do that. Our job here is to, again, rebuild this program, build it to where we know it's going to be, and that's one step at a time. You can't take shortcuts, but it's something we're all very committed to doing.
You got a couple wins early, which is more than they did last year. Last week, I want to look back at that. Did you talk about NC State, Wake Forest, 2 games that came down to the wire? You had chances to win. You didn't. Do you look at those as teaching opportunities and growing opportunities for your young men?
Well, it's a young team, so every day, every practice, every possession is a growing opportunity.
Basics for 40 minutes, we win this basketball game. Work together, confident together.
Look, it's not fun. You know, growing pains aren't fun, and there are no more victories. But we understand we're getting better. We understand that these young men are putting forth the effort. That's what you have to have, number one, is the effort, the passion to do something great. Those things are there. We have to continue to work. We have to continue to try to shore up those little things that can separate you from getting to the winner's circle. We're close. We're very close. But it doesn't show up in the winning category unless you have more points at that final buzzer. It's something we're committed to continuing to work at every single day. And we know that, again, we're close, but we have to continue to work to get better.
One final question I had for you. I asked this of Jeff last week, that you're, I believe, the only staff in the country where all the assistant coaches have been head coaches. Does that help you communicate better? Is there an understanding of what the head coach is going through? Do you understand what you would want from an assistant and maybe behave in a way that a head coach would want an assistant coach to behave?
Well, the biggest thing for me as an assistant coach and having guys that have been head coaches, you understand, you slide over one seat, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. And I think all of us understand that. We understand what goes with that. And our job is to ensure that we're doing everything in our power to help this program grow and to help our leader be the best he can be. A lot of times that's taking things off his desk. A lot of times that's doing things so he can solely focus on the betterment of this team and preparation and helping us game plan for our next opponent or prepare to get better every day. And I think because we've sat in that seat, the 3 of us understand that, and we're better prepared to help him lead this basketball team.
Well, Jason, thanks very much. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me.
All right, stick around. We're going to be talking with head baseball coach Mike Bell when we resume on Pitt Beyond the Script. Don't go away. Pitt Beyond the Script will return right after this.
So when I'm out on the water kayaking, it is a time to relax and be at peace. But yet I'm still have to harness the energy and stay motivated to get through whatever obstacle that I chose, or whatever stream that I chose to be on that day. No stream, no river, no ocean, wherever you're kayaking is the same. And I would say no experiment is the same. And I think you have to be prepared for that. You have to be mentally prepared to recognize every experiment is going to be a different journey. It's a different stream, and you have to feel your way through. I think the same skill sets are needed for, practicing in nursing, doing your research, and kayaking at the same time. You have to focus, and you can't give up because you're in the middle of it. So you have to complete it. Once you start, you have to complete your journey. And yes, it can be stressful, and it can be tough at sometimes when you're out there on the river. Some streams are difficult, more rapids, less rapids, but you can't give up. You keep going. You find a way through. You endure. And I think that even though that's outside and that gives you a nice release, you're still practicing the same skill sets you need to get through the nursing program.
You're watching Pitt Beyond the Script.
I felt in love with wrestling at a really young age. My dad and my brother and even my grandpa wrestled, so ever since I was young, I was always going to my brother's tournaments when I was really little. So I essentially grew up in a wrestling gym.
Great job by Nino. He stayed on that leg.
Great two-point takedown.
You know, I just fell in love with just the atmosphere. You know, the fans bring it, and the intensity of the match, and just getting your hand raised at the end of a battle. When it was my time to decide to come to Pitt, it was really not a hard decision for me. You know, my dad actually went to Pitt, wrestled for a couple years, and my brother went to Pitt. So ever since I was little, we bled blue and gold. I wanted to be a Panther, and thankfully everything worked out. The atmosphere the team brings, it's a chemistry, you know, and I remember when I would take my visits, I would walk around the school, and I love the city feel of the campus, you know. I just like having everything really accessible. I think wrestlers have a stereotype of being really, really hard-nosed, all, you know, no outside influence, and just being all just kind of mean, sort of. But especially here, we're pretty down-to-earth guys. I think, you know, it's pretty good team chemistry. We'll go eat with each other. We're all friends, you know. We're not all this hard all the time, you know. When we wrestle hard in the wrestling room, but when we leave, it's all fun.
We've got two of the best guys in the country going up against one another here. Reenan
hit for the stall warning, and then Bonacorsi scores. Puts him flat on his stomach.
Yeah, I mean, Reenan's not even getting to his feet here.
Bonacorsi shuts out Nick Reenan.
Bonacorsi picks up probably the biggest win of his career.
I think it's important for teams to go hard in the room, but you know, leave it in the room. You got good team chemistry, you go into big matches, everyone's rooting for each other, you know. I think it's important to know that, hey, this guy has my back and I'll have his, and I think that helps win big matches and helps us get better as a team overall. So when I first came into Pitt, I wasn't really sure who the new coach was going to be. I knew we were in the process of getting one, so when I found out we got Keith Gavin, I was really excited. You know, it just added on to how much more love I have for Pitt. I grew up watching Keith, actually, you know, big Pitt fan, you know, was in the national finals, winning nationals, and I just grew up watching him, and being able to wrestle for him and just have him mentor me in wrestling is just a dream come true, really.
Come on, Nino! Yes!
Hi, my name's Nino Bonacorsi, and you're watching Pitt Beyond the Script.
In an ideal world, you would find a coach who's in it for all the right reasons and is filled with integrity and confidence and belief that we can build a national caliber baseball program here at Pitt. And you know, we found that leader in Mike Bell. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege and honor to introduce to you our new head baseball coach, Mike Bell.
Welcome back to Pitt Beyond the Script, and we are joined now by Pitt baseball head coach Mike Bell. I want to say new head baseball coach. Obviously, you've been on the job for 6 months, but you're getting ready for your first season. So what's it been like from the time you were hired in July to the cusp of beginning this season?
The biggest comparison I've had talking to previous coaches around the leagues that get hired new, it's like putting your face in front of a fire hydrant, because it's going to keep coming at you, and it doesn't slow down probably till about November when you get hired. But it's been great. We've got a great support staff working with us here, and we're eagerly to get started. You know, we're heading down to Florida later this week, but our guys are getting better each and every day, and we can already see strides in the program and everything that we're doing on the field, off the field, in the community classroom, and we're really excited to get things going.
As a former professional pitcher, you got to the AA level. As a guy who was a pitching coach at various stops in the course of your career, how do you now shift your attention, or had you begun shifting your attention a little bit at Florida State to the other aspects of the game?
I think from day one, when you signed up for what you're going to do here, you had to look at it from a different light. Number one, when you're looking at the pitching side of things, and Jerry Oaks has done a phenomenal job with the pitchers here in the past, we're going to continue to let him do what he does best and try to help guide and help him in a lot of different ways. But I also look at it as, I don't want to have somebody over my shoulder if I'm doing that job either, so I've got to trust him to do that. From the offensive side, Ty McGay, he came in from a high-powered ranked offense at Mercer in Western Kentucky and Auburn, where he's helped develop, you know, National Player of the Years, and we're going to continue to run his style of offense. Overseeing everything is what a CEO should do, but also allowing guys to coach, allowing them to develop our young men and put them in the best position possible to be successful is what we're looking to do.
Do you have some cachet from your players, the fact that you played professional baseball, the fact that you oversaw draft picks?
I think it helps in a lot of ways. I think, whether you're recruiting a student athlete or working with a student athlete, if you have done it before, either at a high level and had success, or even had failures, you can talk about both ends. This is what was successful at other programs, this is what was successful that you did at their age, or this is something I learned from. And ultimately, it's about getting the most out of them and being able to communicate with them. And it's no different than recruiting and coaching, it's all the same. It goes back to communicating.
You talked about on the field, which we're going to talk about in a moment, in the classroom, but also in the community. You've been very aggressive about getting these guys out in the community, haven't you?
Yeah, this is more than just wins and losses. This is about the growth of young men. It's about the student-athlete experience. And when they're coming to the University of Pittsburgh, what they have to understand is, yeah, we're going to compete for championships and we demand excellence, but it's more about what you walk away with after your years at Pittsburgh. Whether you're going into professional baseball, or whether you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, or run your own business, you have to be able to connect, communicate with people, and you have to understand the surroundings out there.
A little different setup as we shift now to talk about the baseball season. You guys are going to have 11 in a row on the road. By the way, the opener, March 5th against Youngstown State here. How different is that for you and for the student athletes to be away quite a bit from school and have to focus on baseball in school?
A couple things that come into play, not just teams from the north, but in us in general, is, can we keep these guys healthy? Can we provide the proper nutrition, rest, recovery for these guys? Because travel does become and take a toll on student athletes. They're balancing, as we talk about being a student and an athlete, they've got to take care of their academics first, but then also take care of business on the field. Starting on the road, we have to, based on the weather. We want to make sure we get 56 games in, because that's important as we're trying to compete with our RPI down the road, and more importantly, prepare us for a tough ACC schedule. So we look for weather situations, and whether it's South Carolina, Florida, we've got to provide opportunity for these guys to grow. We can only do so much here, and we do a lot, whether it's indoor or outdoors, but ultimately playing those 56 games is most important for us and getting those games in.
We talked about what you've done in the last 6 months, but I guess I should step back to the beginning and ask you, why Pitt? What about this job appealed to you?
There was a couple things, like you said, coming from some storied programs, and I probably had my dream job growing up, playing at Florida State and being an assistant coach and working with Coach Martin there. For me, where I'm at in my career, the timing was right. And once I saw the vision of the administration, Heather Like, Christian Spears, Bethany, when I saw the vision, the commitment, and the direction of this program, and more importantly, when I met the people here at the University of Pittsburgh, I knew there was something special going on here. Our league provides opportunity, and you can look at it, whether it's BC, Duke, Va Tech, or the national powers of Florida State, Virginia, North Carolina. Teams are competing for postseason because they're being prepared as what this league does. So I looked at it as a great opportunity. There's a great commitment here and a great vision, and we're excited to be a part of it.
First of all, thanks for joining us. Secondly, good luck on the road, and we will see you back here in Pittsburgh on March 5th.
Look forward to seeing you. Hail to Pitt.
All right, thanks very much, Head Coach Mike Bell of the Pitt men's baseball team. Stick around. More still to come on Pitt Beyond the Script.
Very nice. Very nice.
To be a leader in business, you need a global perspective. The strength and the reputation of the University of Pittsburgh Joseph M. Katz Graduate School of Business gives you a world of opportunity. Our Executive MBA Worldwide program is tailored to the unique needs of high-level business executives. The hands-on program will advance your career and your global network as you study on campus and abroad. Be ready to lead in a global world. Be Katz ready.
What a phenomenal world we live in, where the impossible is anything but. No matter the game, we are always playing for Pittsburgh. On the biggest stages, amplifying the quietest voices, leveraging knowledge for society's gain, the builders of the future. We empower minds. We ignite fire and soar higher. Hail to Pitt.
You're watching Pitt Beyond the Script.
We're here at the Pitt. We're just writing cards and letters to the women at the McGee Hospital across the street, and we're gonna put some hats in bags and take them over and interact with them, talk to them a little bit, get to know them.
To be able to have the women's basketball team come here, and meet with the Pages is just fabulous. I mean, it really shows the support that both Pitt and the greater Pittsburgh community have for the people here and what they're going through.
Whenever you come to the McGee Women's Hospital and you see these women that are battling on a day-to-day basis for their life, I think it really puts into perspective these amazing women and their struggles and the perseverance they have to keep going.
I think it was a very impactful experience, just being able to see the patients, talk to them, kind of just be there to support them and take their minds off of what they're going through. Sometimes I think we can take things for granted, but being able to be in a humbling experience like this can really help us.
This game is about something bigger than us. We're playing for those.
It's a very special day here at the Peterson Event Center. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Day, and what we call this here is Pink the Peterson.
Here is from the mid-post, Kara Judkins, a little jumper up and good.
Walsh, shot clock down to 8. Garvin's jump shot is good. Good look down low and a block by Bradley on Hoff.
And the ball goes over to the Panthers.
I never thought I needed support going into the cancer diagnosis. I'm a 2-time survivor of metastatic triple-negative breast cancer, but meeting women like this has been one of the biggest parts of my life now. They show me what being a strong survivor means.
I am an almost 10-year breast cancer survivor, although I'm stage 4, so I've been in that chemo chair every 3 weeks since 2009. I think we all feel very supported by the Pitt community and the Pittsburgh community.
There's one good thing about having breast cancer. I've met so many wonderful human beings.
You're watching Pitt Beyond the Script. Hail to Pitt!
Thank you for watching Pitt Beyond the Script.